After taking 2 cruises in 1 month, I've been getting a lot of questions on not only how to save money on cruising, but how to maximize the time you're on board. Let me share some of my favorite cruise tips with you and get the help of some of my expert friends while I'm at it. One of the top questions I get asked are, aren't cruises expensive? Well, if you think about everything that's included, and I mean everything from your room to your meals to even some beaches, you're really not paying that much money per day. So it's important to count the whole cost before you ever get on board. Plus, if you can drive to the cruise or take advantage of last-minute offers, you can really save an incredible amount of money.
There's a benefit to flying in the night before your cruise. Not only do you release some of the stress that comes from trying to fly in the day of, but you can also take time to go to a local grocery store to pick up those items that you're allowed to bring on board. Beverages, but also things like sunscreen or any other toiletries you may not have wanted to bring, especially if you're only traveling with a carry-on. One of the things we love about cruising is its all-inclusive nature. Basically, you can budget, plan, and not have to spend a penny when you're on board. But there are temptations once you're on the ship to spend extra dollars, especially when it comes to food and beverage. What people don't know is that you can typically bring up to 2 bottles of wine per stateroom and 12 bottles or cans of non-alcoholic beverages. So if you plan ahead and do that before you get on ship at the port, you can save a lot of money during your cruise. One of my favorite savings tips, whether you're on a cruise ship or not, is to ask questions. Now, when you look at face value for the restaurants that are included and complimentary on the ship, it doesn't look like there's a lot. But what you may not know is that some of the restaurants that typically charge will have certain meals that are free. For instance, at the Spa Cafe, you can get free fruit, free sandwiches. Even places like Johnny Rockets on board that will charge you for lunch and dinner actually have free breakfast. So don't just assume, ask questions, and you never know what you might find for free.
One of my top cruising tips is to take advantage of being at port. Not only are there less people on board so you can enjoy the ship, you're going to find some great deals at places like the spa.
For those of you that think that spa treatments are a luxury you can't afford, think again, because when you're on a cruise, there's actually different pricing for when you're at sea and at port. If you look, they are trying to attract guests for when you're at port, and most people are off the ship. So their standard pricing is when you're at sea, but then they have a value price for the days that you're at port. So if you want to take advantage of a spa treatment but still want to save money, make sure you book it for those days when you're actually at port, and you're going to see the savings add up. I know the ship is going to offer a lot of pre-boarding savings on things like drink packages, even photo packages. But if you can wait until about mid-week, that's when the savings really start. For example, we're about halfway through this cruise, and there was just a fabulous deal on Wi-Fi where you can get basically 4 days for the price of 2. Same with photos. Even though those photo packages may seem really enticing, I bet you could buy a camera for the amount of money that you would spend on a photo book on a cruise ship. Another way to save on your cruise is to wait and book your excursion until you're at your port of call. Now, if you've been somewhere before, there's something really exciting you're afraid might sell out, sure, you can book that before you get on your cruise. But if you just want to explore the port of call and don't really mind what you do, wait until you arrive. A lot of times, if there are a lot of open spots on a certain excursion, your cruise ship will offer discounts, sometimes up to 50% off. So if you can just hold on a little bit and wait until you're actually at the port, you'll never know what savings you can encounter.
One of my favorite cruise hacks is to get an over-the-door organizer. You can pick these up on Amazon, and they keep everything from jewelry to toiletries, sunscreen, you name it, organized so that you don't have to take up extra bathroom space and everyone can get their own compartment. Things can get a little windy while out on the high seas, so my other favorite hack are these towel clips. I don't know how we went cruising for so long without them. Not only do they keep your towel in place, it helps you find your chair more easily. To help you save money and maximize your next cruise, I've asked some of my favorite friends what their 3 must-haves are. Let's see what they have to say.
My top 3 cruise must-haves are a tumbler to always have ice water on hand, a small purse so you have somewhere to stash your room key, and metal straws. No one likes single-use plastic.
When I'm cruising, my top 3 must-haves are a phone case that slides open so that you can keep your key in there and not have to worry about it. I also love to have tea lights that are LED battery operated, and you just stick those in your bathroom so that you don't have to turn on the bathroom light and wake everyone up. And I need to have a roll-up hat so that it can pack easily without getting squished and block the sun.
I absolutely always like to bring dry shampoo because I don't always wash my hair every single day. I have a toiletry bag, so instead of bringing all my beauty products, I only bring a very small amount of each, so it's really easy for me to carry on. And my last tip, our last tip.
Don't forget the Dramamine.
My 3 cruise must-haves have been a beach bag that you can collapse into a small space like your suitcase, reef-safe sunscreen because you're in the Caribbean, and a variety of swimsuits so that you don't have to put on a wet one.
3 of my top cruise must-haves are: number 1, bring a lanyard to hold your key during your cruise. Number 2, seasickness medication just in case. And number 3, a sound machine to wipe out any outside noises you're not used to.
Sea bands to help with motion sickness, sunscreen, and your passport.
My 3 cruise must-haves are your favorite pair of sunglasses, a super cute sun hat, and your favorite bathing suit.
All right, so my first one is my hair straightener because in the heat my hair gets so frizzy, so I make sure I straighten it every morning. I always will make sure I get just a lanyard or something that I can keep my actual little hardcore card on. This is how you get into your room, so very important. And then my third one is lots of lotion because in the sun we need to make sure that we're moisturizing when we get back to our room.
If you're looking to save money on your cruise, before you book, take a look at the dates. If you can find an off-season, that helps out a lot. If you're looking at a repositioning cruise, those are also much cheaper.
Well, it's time for me to sail off into the sunset. Head over to the SamiConeShow.com to make sure your next cruise is the best ever.